All right, guys, today we're going to talk about what makes a good defensive handgun. So you see on the table here, we have a Glock 45 with a Holosun 509T mounted to the top right here. What makes a great defensive handgun? A red dot, whether it's a red dot or irons, does not matter. But what makes a great handgun is, number one, the gun needs to be reliable. It needs to work. When we need it to work, when our life's on the line, we're trying to save our family, ourselves, whoever else that might be, first and foremost, we need this gun to work. So reliability is huge. Of course, Glock is known for their reliability, but there's several other great options out there depending on what fits each shooter. Several brands come to mind: SIG, HK, Smith & Wesson, Walther, the list goes on and on. But this is not the piece of equipment that we want to pinch pennies with. We want to make sure that we purchase a duty-rated quality handgun for that task. And what makes these guns like this Glock so great is, as we said, they're ultra reliable. But there's a few other great things about it. So the size, for me personally, with the Glock 45, this is my carry gun, and I love the full size grip, and that allows me to get a solid purchase on this gun. And I shoot this gun very well because of the way it balances in my hand. So I'm always going to recommend get as big of a gun as you can shoot and as big of a gun as you can carry. I have full 17 round magazines plus one in the pipe, so I have a total of 18 rounds that I'm carrying with this gun at all times, plus an extra magazine, so I have plenty of ammunition. So another aspect that we want to talk about is trigger. Trigger makes all the difference in the world when we're talking about performance on a gun. And if you notice, this is not a stock trigger. This is actually the Apex trigger kit for Glock. So what I like about this is it gives me a flat face trigger, which actually reduces trigger reach and allows me to make sure that I do not contact the frame when I'm shooting this gun, which would cause me to push shots to the left. But what's great about this is this trigger is not too light, it's not too heavy, it's very safe to carry. So there are a lot of triggers out there that you can purchase that'll get the actual trigger weight down very low that could actually be dangerous and could just be too low for carry. So this trigger breaks at about 4.5 pounds. To me, that's about perfect. It's a very nice, crisp break. I feel very confident carrying this gun with this trigger, and it makes me shoot better. So, you know, it enhances the experience. So there's a lot of things to consider when we're talking about purchasing a gun for self-defense and for concealed carry, but those are some of the main things. So I want to talk about the optic for just a second. This is, again, the Holosun 509T. It's a great optic. We're really excited about these, what experience we've had with these. Closed emitter, which means if you live in the South like we do, it reduces the chance that you're going to get any fog or anything like that. And it's built to last. It's very tough. But these have a learning curve. So if they're not a point and click solution, you have to train with these. Learning how to draw and find the dot and make that all work takes some training. So come see us. We may be having that class coming up down the road. So now talking about iron sights just a little bit. Of course, iron sights are still extremely relevant and can be used to do some really good work with pistols. So as we see here, I love a blacked out rear sight. I have painted this metal sight red. It is not tritium. It is not a night sight because that works perfectly fine for me when I'm shooting this pistol. Even at twilight, the hours of darkness starting to creep in, I can still pick up this sight very well, especially in a well-lit area such as a gas station parking lot or whatever else it might be. So tritium sights are great, nothing wrong with that, but we should never be in a dark place anyway. So as long as we're doing our job and we're situationally aware, these will work perfectly fine. Now, if you're gonna buy a Glock pistol, those come with what Glock calls placeholders. You need to get rid of those and get you some metal sights on that gun as quickly as possible. Same thing for the new Walther PDP, but you need metal sights that are solid, and you need to confirm the zero with these things. We all the time talk about confirming zero on red dot pistols, but a lot of people neglect the fact that we need to confirm zero with our iron sights. Most of these come from the factory, zeroed at 25 yards, but the slightest shift in this rear sight or the slightest shift in this front sight can cause a very serious point of aim, point of impact failure with the pistol. So you need to confirm these iron sights as well before you start carrying this gun as your carry gun. So yeah, good quality iron sights. You can do a lot of great work with these. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Some of the brands that I really like, Trijicon HD sights are outstanding. Anything Ameriglow, particularly the Hackathorn sights. And again, I love this blacked out rear, because what that does when I'm shooting iron sights, it allows me to focus on that front sight, and really gives me a good sight picture when I'm putting this gun on target. One thing not to neglect is the capacity of the gun. So this Glock 45 comes with a 17 round magazine, so 17 plus 1. So I'm carrying 18 rounds in the gun, and I can also carry 1-2 backup mags if I want, for a total of a great deal of rounds. So average gunfight, what is that? Who knows? How do you know your gunfight's going to be average? They say 3 rounds, but we don't know. What if they have friends? What if we have a malfunction? So I'm a big fan of capacity. Carry as big of a gun as you can possibly carry. For me personally, that's a 17 round magazine in this Glock 45. So I really like it. I definitely highly recommend 10 or more as far as capacity goes, and hopefully that'll take care of you. So yeah, don't neglect your capacity over comfort. Make sure that your gun is carrying enough ammunition that you can get the job done.